What's up, everybody? Um, so yeah, I'm doing a Saturday one today because tomorrow's Father's Day. I just wanted to clear that up. Um, Thank you to this guy experience. As far as next season of Wrestling Trivia Challenge, I do have something to say about that also. Just give me a minute. I'm letting everybody and their mother know that I am streaming today instead of tomorrow. So, yeah, so Wrestling Trivia Challenge, it's been a little bit of a struggle to get it together, but it's okay. Um, I do want to let everybody know that I will actually be competing in a separate Wrestling Trivia Challenge, or not Wrestling Trivia Challenge tournament, but a Wrestling Trivia tournament. These guys called the Mark World Order. You can follow them on Twitter at MWO for Life, the word for, not the number. They have been doing something called the King of the Marks tournament for a couple seasons. And what's funny about that is they've wanted me to be a part of it, but they couldn't find room for me, I guess. So they finally got a hold of me for their fourth season, and they said, hey, do you want to be a part of it? And yeah, I do. So in the next couple weeks, I will be officially a part of that tournament, which is pretty sweet, and I won't even have to defend my title. But as far as Wrestling Trivia Challenge is concerned, I might be seeing Aaron today, actually, depending on how all that goes. But I do want to ask him about the trivia stuff because I'm ready to go. I've been ready to go. So that's what's going on with that. As far as everything else, and I know I'm like sending out this mass tweet or whatever. All right, cool. That's all I have to do. Spread the word about the live stream. Ken Terminated by Google, $5 super chats. Morning, champ. I'm excited that you're on Saturday. Sorry, $5 ain't enough for you. Hey, you know I'd take any super chats I can get. It's not enough for a spin, but hey, I'll take $5 super chats all day. Don't worry about it, Ken. So let me get to the chat here. With this guy experience, I like the intro. Well, I appreciate that. If anybody remembers the old sensational experience I used to do on this channel, it's basically the same intro. I just changed the end of it. But it's clips of me from the indies, so why wouldn't I use it? Have a smoke and relax. How's it going, folks? Not too bad. Good to see you. Mike Nixon, good afternoon, brother. Good afternoon to you as well. It's interesting doing the Saturday stream because, like I mentioned, Father's Day is tomorrow, and I actually have plans, so I won't be able to make my normal Sunday stream. But next Sunday, I will resume the Sunday stream at its normal time because it's before Stomping Grounds. So there you go. And then the Sunday after that, I have a birthday party. Summers are really tough for me as far as the streaming schedule goes. The weekend after next, I might not be able to stream at all. It just depends. But because last weekend of June is going to be super, super busy. This guy experience. How are you liking the 24/7 crap title? It's probably the most entertaining thing they got right now. 24/7 championship. I mean, R-Truth is doing wonders with it. And all of the social media title changes, that's exactly what the 24/7 title needed to be. You don't actually have to watch Raw or SmackDown to see the 24/7 title changes, which is perfect. It's the perfect championship for social media era. And I said that when it debuted. And everybody was like, oh no, this is such a bad idea. And yet it's one of the most entertaining things. It's like, maybe you should listen to me, you know? I actually know what I'm talking about. Vinny out of touch McMahon. Shane will be WWE champion soon, and I'm actually okay with it. You know what? I am too. People would be like, "Oh, you want Shane McMahon as champion? You want Baron Corbin as champion too?" Yes, I do. Everybody would lose their minds. They'd be like, "Yes, this is great. This is fantastic." But everybody's who knows? Who knows what will happen? Um, Domestic Butler. Is it me or is it so obvious Brock will cash in when SmackDown moves to Fox? Um, I don't know if it's. I don't know whether it's that obvious because we all thought he was going to cash in at Super Showdown and he didn't. I hope it's not that predictable. I hope he cashes in on a pay-per-view or something and not on the first SmackDown. I mean, it makes sense if you want the big news for SmackDown, like WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. But it is what it is. And yes, Ken, I did call it the 24/7 title is entertaining. Tuning in live would be difficult for me on Sundays for the next couple months because the high school football team I'm an assistant coach for on Sundays, all the coaches get together for meetings. Well, hey, that's pretty sweet. Now, I thought I could be a football coach at one time. I just need to familiarize myself with pretty much all the rules and the plays and stuff. I mean, I know most of the rules, substitution rules, escape me a little bit, but like in the formations and stuff. I think that would be fun, at least calling plays. Um, but this is just my Madden experience more than anything else. So I hope your football team does well. I can't wait for football season, man. Like that's something else I'm excited for. Because I'm doing college football streams on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/luckofthedraw. Ken, hey Cherry, maybe you can be the wrestling trivia coach. By the way, nice shout out on Zane's channel. I was hoping he would notice because he's been on the show a couple times. Like he's been on Wrestling Trivia Challenge 3 times now. First time he lost to me, and the second and third times he was in the tournament. So I don't know. I was hoping I would get a shout out and notice because I would have won that trivia match anyway. Not that that should be a surprise to anybody. Have a smoke and relax. Roman's going to win the WWE title at some point. Lesnar will cash in. Brock versus Lesnar again? I'm sure you mean Roman versus Lesnar again. Domestic Butler, so much wrong with WWE. Name three things that are good. NXT, 24/7 title, and lots of Shane McMahon on my TV. I take that as a plus. I love Shane O'Mac. I always have. Vinny, Touch McMahon. Will Kushida be big in WWE? Well, we'll see. Japanese stars, when they come up to the main roster, have not fared as well as we thought. Granted, Shinsuke won the Royal Rumble and got a WWE Championship match at Mania, but he never actually won the title. Walrus 373. Hey, Greg, I bet you're happy my team lost in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Don't take it personally. I'm not a Boston fan. Boston. Hey, you know what? Boston has 2 championships already. Did they really need a third? It was going to get out of control. I was going to say, if it got to that point and the Bruins won the Stanley Cup, I was worried that the Celtics were going to cash in Money in the Bank in the NBA Finals and just somehow win the NBA championship from the Raptors. But Boston Punk is going to hate you, Cherry. You know what? We're actually pretty cool. He knows for a fact that I don't like Boston teams. I try not as much to trash them on here. But everybody should know my opinion on Boston teams. I don't need to repeat myself for that. Don Bone, can you put a link to your YouTube channel? It's right on the video. youtube.com/luckofthedraw. It's not clickable. I don't know how to do that. But if it was clickable, it would be very easy. Sorry, I've been like congested for like 6 months. It's ridiculous. Jinder Maharaja says the Undisputed Era will end up like the Nexus. Well, they're already way better than the Nexus ever was. Domestic Butler, football, yes. Liverpool, European champions. Let's talk about six, baby. The Steelers have six Super Bowl rings in American football, so I'm good with that. Jerry, a lot of people crap on Shane segments. Frankly, I like him because it produces heel heat like the old school brother love segments. Yeah, you know what? People crap on Shane. They don't realize that Shane doesn't have a bad match. Like I was actually watching a match from him and Kane in 2003. I was like, man, Shane was just so entertaining to watch. He still is. Say what you will. I know he's almost 50, but Shane McMahon is still entertaining to watch to me. He's way more athletic than his dad, let's face it. Like Vince just kind of stumbled around the ring, but Shane goes all out. Say what you will about Shane McMahon not being a quote unquote full time wrestler, but he's amazing. I love Shane. Um, the Real AC, hola, Senor Cherry. What's up, the Real AC? Good to see you. Domestic Butler, what do you think of AEW wrestling so far? What would you do if you were in charge? Do you believe in the Austin rumors with AEW? Which Austin? Do you mean Stone Cold or do you mean Austin Aries? There's a couple different Austins in there. I haven't heard either one, to be honest, so I couldn't tell you. Mike Nixon. Okay, last thing about football. You don't have to stop the football talk. I love football talk. Um, I think the Steelers are going to have a good season. They can definitely win the division and make the playoffs. And Juju's one of my favorite players and will dominate this year. I love Juju. He's so great. Such a humble guy too. I hope he keeps that humility. Um, AB just got full of himself. Very talented player. Don't get me wrong, but he got a big head. Ken, Shane is not a great wrestler, but he's a damn good performer athlete. Plus, he is an awesome heel ever since the Attitude Era. I remember the Shane's a blank chance. Domestic Butler, Steve Austin. Really, I don't see Stone Cold doing anything with any company other than WWE. There's no point, really. Jinder Maharaja, Undertaker should be a manager like Paul Bearer with Bray, like Kane and Aleister Black, like Undertaker. That was confusing. I'd like to congratulate the St. Louis Blues for winning the Stanley Cup and the Toronto Raptors winning the NBA Finals. Yeah, it was definitely a little bit of a change from what we expected. So it's nice to see different teams win. St. Louis Blues, I believe that was their first cup ever. Was it the Raptors' first NBA championship also? I don't follow basketball, so forgive me. Um, but I know I'm ready for football season. Don Wooding. Hello, Mr. Cheery. How's it going, sir? Also, you fed up with WWE yet? Um, I, I'm not fed up with WWE. I'm annoyed, but I'm not like, oh, I'm going to stop watching. Um, I still believe that the competition from AEW is going to be a big help as far as that goes. It was the first time for the Raptors. Okay, so 2 first-time champions crowned in the same week. You found it? Awesome. If you subscribe, it should pop up here shortly. Remember the ambulance match with Kane versus Shane McMahon from Survivor Series? That's actually the match I was watching the other day. The Survivor Series match. Domestic Butler, Texas Rattlesnake, Steve Austin will return with. I did see that he's going to interview Tony Khan. I don't believe he's going to show up at AEW, but he likes to interview people from the wrestling business. It doesn't just have to be WWE. um, and to answer your question, Ken, that was a good match. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the Shane and Kane series. Don Wooding, what's the update on WTC Season 7? I got to get with Aaron on that. He's supposed to be near the area. I may just have to point blank ask him. It's like, hey, what are we doing? We talked about the tag team tournament for Season 7, but nothing has come out of that. We were supposed to make an announcement 3 weeks ago. And I think my cat is playing with something in the bathroom. Piper was fired because of Austin. Are you talking about in 2003? Piper was fired because he was like saying something on like some HBO show or something. Ken, I agree, Jerry. I didn't understand Kane and Shane at dinner, but it was a good feud. It was definitely a different type of promo. Two of them at dinner, like talking trash about each other. It was definitely yeah. I know Aaron. I know Aaron moved. Um, and he's actually supposed to be in my area tonight, so I may go see him. I don't know. The real AC, Vince bled the moment Taker punched. That guy really is prone to excessive bleeding. Yeah. Um, and he like bled like a freaking stuffed pig too. Like it was almost like it was almost Eddie Guerrero and Cena bad from Judgment Days. Piper was making jokes about Austin on his podcast, which is strange because I think Steve can take jokes. Well, this was obviously years ago, but when did Piper have a podcast? I don't listen to a ton of podcasts, honestly. I probably should, but. Ian Joplin, hey Greg, did you listen to Vince Russo's podcast about WWE and AEW are in business together? I have not. I don't actively look for Vince Russo stuff. I've seen it on Twitter. I've seen him talk about it. I don't actively seek it out though. AC, was it worse than Vince's bleeding at Mania 19? Maybe a little. I mean, Vince did bleed pretty heavily at 19, but he was like pouring out blood at Survivor Series. Realize I don't think Kane and Shane's 2003 feud wasn't that bad. Triple H and Scott Steiner was a big piece of crap. Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, it ruined Scott Steiner and WWE because those matches were awful. At King of the Ring 99, Austin wrestled Shane and Vince McMahon in a ladder match. A briefcase hung above the ring with control of the company at stake. During the match, who did it? Who lifted the briefcase? I don't think they ever mentioned that. Ken, do you believe that Khan and Vince McMahon are working together? That's like Vince and Ted Turner working together, you know? Well, it's funny you mention that because AEW is going to be on TNT in October. Greg, mean to tell you my favorite event was at, believe it or not, TNA Hard Justice in 08. In the Trenton Street Fight, Christian jumped from the railing from my section and was seen on TV. That's pretty sweet. Chat site forums, Shane for WWE and Universal Champion. I would not complain to see Shane McMahon's WWE Champion. The rumor's out there that he's going to be the one to beat Kofi, but we'll see if that. It might not be anything, but I would be very happy with that. The real AC, King of the Ring 99 was probably the worst show of the Attitude Era. I don't think I've ever seen that show in full. Actually, a couple of the 99 shows I haven't seen in full. I'm going to have to go back and watch those at some point. Yeah, I love that you guys are all for the Shane McMahon WWE Champion thing. I'd love to see it. I think he should have been WWE Champion years ago. But now, even more so, it's like if there was any time to put the strap on Shane, it would be now. We're showing that era's 99 Royal Rumble. Really? Rumble? That wasn't even the worst Rumble that they've ever done. Shane should have won the 99 Rumble instead of Vince. I don't even know if Shane... I don't think Shane had started competing at that point. Like, I know he was in the storylines. Domestic Butler, do you think Christopher Daniels would have worked as the higher power? Possibly. Of course, I love Daniels, so it would have been interesting. But the problem is, with at that point, Daniels was not a familiar face in the wrestling world in '99. So, I mean, I would love to see Christopher Daniels do something with WWE, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. Sadly. I mean, technically, he wrestled a couple matches in WWE back in the day, but as far as like a long-term character, I don't think he's going to do anything. Unfortunately, Shane versus Vince Russo is a dream match. I mean, I love Shane O'Mac, but I don't think. I think. I don't know. '99 Royal Rumble was good because it had The Rock versus Mankind in that I Quit match. Yeah, I mean, you can't forget about that. That one's a classic. A lot of people say that the '99 Rumble was the worst Rumble. It wasn't. I thought it was average because of the McMahon-Austin feud. You want a terrible Rumble? '95. And I love HBK, but '95 was a god-awful Rumble. I don't think you had... I'm trying to remember everybody who was in it. Which is hard to do because I only think like one or two people in that match ever became world champion. Shawn, obviously, one of them. Backlund was a world champion too, and he was only in there for like 6 seconds. '95 was the opposite of star power, yeah. Like they had Mantar in the match, they had the Blue Brothers, they had Well Done was in there. Which is funny. There is one funny moment in the '95 Rumble. I don't remember whether it's Stephen Dunn or Timothy Well comes out, and like you hear this massive pop, and you think, "Oh, this guy is really important." They weren't popping for him; they were popping for Owen Hart being eliminated. But the timing of it and the camera angle makes you think this guy is like hugely over, but he's not. It's hilarious. That's probably like my favorite part of the '95 Rumble because it's so ridiculous. Greg, if there was a storyline where Shane bought AEW, what will your thoughts be? I doubt that's going to happen. I feel like Tony Khan actually cares about the wrestling business and he wants it to succeed. It's not just going to be It's a different time. I think AEW will outlast Vince McMahon. Maybe not WWE, but it will probably outlast Vince McMahon. Was it Shane's first match at Survivor Series '99? No. I think one of his first matches was on Raw, where he won the European title from X-Pac. And I think it was like a tag team match too. D'Lo Cowboys, why do you keep watching WWE? I'm pot committed, really. I've been watching for this long. It's like, if I stop now, it's like. Plus, I'm wrestling trivia champion, so like, kind of gotta maintain that. Early '98 was Shane's first match. I'm sure you mean '99. I don't think Shane was even a character on TV in early '98. Mid '98. Fun fact: Sunday Night Heat, when Shane came out to be a commentator, he entered to the PMS theme. You know, the theme for Jacqueline. That was the theme Shane McMahon entered to. The Real IC, speaking of gaming, has anybody heard the awesome news about Smash Brothers? What would that be? Mankind versus Shane. Was that early '98 or early '99? Because I didn't think Shane was on TV. I mean, Shane McMahon, if you watch the 91 Rumble, you can see Shane McMahon as a referee on the outside. And yes, Ken, that's the theme I mean. Um, do you think the only NXT stars WWE won't ruin on the main roster are the Undisputed Era, Velveteen Dream, and well, Adam Cole's part of the Undisputed Era? I don't know because Vince likes to call up stars that weren't a big deal in NXT and try and make them stars. Worked with Alexa Bliss. She was not really a top person in NXT, but she came to WWE, and I'm just gonna say this: as soon as she got drafted to SmackDown in 2016, I was like, that's going to be a big signing. I called it. 5-time women's champion. I'm a smart one for a reason. Was on Raw 98. Shane beat Mankind. Okay. Banjo and Kazooie will be in Smash. Oh, that's pretty sweet. And yeah, Shane McMahon did start out as a referee. Shane Stevens was his name. Fun fact. Somebody Google it. When will Shayna Baszler be called up? I don't know. I feel like Shayna Baszler's got to keep running with the NXT Women's Championship for a bit. They may call her up as NXT Women's Champion. What would be cool is if Shayna is like, I've beaten everybody in NXT, so now I'm going to go for the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship. I'm going to defend both the titles, or all of the titles. Oh, I can't forget Shane Melton in the 90s. It's burned into my brain. Shayna Baszler should come up and win either the Raw or the SmackDown Women's Championship and just dominate all the brands. Realistically, you want to build her into a badass, have her be champion forever. And then, like, when you really want to put that like big baby face over, have that person beat Shayna. Baszler and Sonya Deville have a feud. Screw her for breaking Ember's switch. Ronda versus Baszler at Mania. Well, depends on how Ronda's start family things going. I'd be pissed if anybody broke my video game equipment. I got a bunch of it. I got my N64 over here. I got Retron, which plays Genesis and Super Nintendo games. I got a lot of stuff. So I tried to figure out. I was trying to find a way to live stream my playing of freaking WWE Champions, and it kind of broke the stream last week. So I don't know. I was trying to find some way to do something different without ruining everything, but unfortunately, I ruined everything. So unfortunately, gaming on this channel doesn't seem like it's going to be, or at least on the live stream purposes, it's not going to be a thing. So this is still here, by the way. I haven't had a spin yet, but the Real IC says, I'd love to see Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie on the Switch. D. Brian Kendrick as referee for Baron Corbin. I wonder who Corbin is going to pick for the special guest referee. I wonder if it's going to be somebody who helps him win and then Seth Rollins beats him back for the title the next night or something. They should do something screwy and make Corbin the champion even for a day. I don't know if they will, but they really should. Let's probably wipe out all my freaking health packs. Almost all of them. Matt Hardy is a referee. It makes me sad that they're not doing anything with Matt. I know Jeff's injured, but they're not doing anything with Matt Hardy. Make him Woken again. Make him Big Money Matt. Make him V1. I really think they're missing the boat here on doing a freaking what was I gonna say? A freaking uh, multiple personality gimmick with Matt. I don't know why they don't do that with him. He's still got gas in the tank, so why not? V1. That's right, V1. Who would you have win the Rumble? I know it's early, but I would choose AJ and have him face Rollins this time. Don't hold back, have a ladder match. Um, it depends. It depends on if Rollins is even champion then. He may not be. What the frick? Why is this? Holy shit. Why is this finisher up that high? Holy piss. Yeah, I did hear about Fandango returning to reunite Breezango. That's pretty sweet. Because he's been out forever. So it's good to see him back. I think Greg Cherry should win the Rumble. I'd be down for that. Totally be down for that. Whether or not it happens is another story, but I'd be okay with that. I don't. It's early for Rumble picks. It's only June. You haven't even hit SummerSlam yet. It's early for Rumble picks. And I love the Rumble. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna make a call this early because it all depends on who the champions are at the time. I am the best in the world as far as wrestling trivia goes, and I'm gonna prove that in the Mark World Order tournament. I really would. Um, I'd love to win the best in the world. WWE needs to step it up with or without CM Punk and AEW. They really need to start pulling out all the stops. I don't know what they're waiting for, but they need something big to get people talking. Domestic Butler, that's the problem with wrestling. No slow builds anymore. Yeah, that's true. They don't do the slow builds anymore. I, I don't know if that's like purely a business decision or what the reason for that is, but it is a little bit annoying. They need a big boom. AEW may provide that spark, though. We can only hope. Shit. Did you mark out when Ellsworth returned at Money in the Bank last year? No, I did not. No, this is futile. Shit. AEW equals Nintendo, WWE equals EA. Hey, EA has put out good stuff before. Um, Love that the matches that ended in a sell and made sense after a long feud. You mean kind of like the Usos on the New Day? Or like Shawn and, uh, yeah, Hunter? Can't believe I blanked on Triple H. Um, yeah, it's, I for one, am really hoping that something comes along and helps out WWE. Greg, do you think WWE should bring back GM mode? Yes. I don't know what they're waiting for. This is 9 Ways to Terrible. Like, what is this? So, I mean, the spins are back if you want one. I love to give away another T-shirt. It's been a couple streams since I have. So, let's see about that. This guy I'm feuding with is like ridiculous. Is there a difference between GM mode and universe mode? If you watch Up, Up, Down, Down, the Battle of the Brands with Woods and Breeze, very entertaining. That's GM mode from the old SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. It's definitely a fun mode, and watching it back, I really wish I could do that mode with somebody I know, but if that ever happens, we'll see. Yeah, see, somebody watches Up, Up, Down, Down. I watch Up, Up, Down, Down. It's fantastic. Vinny Out Touch McMahon, would you care for an Usos versus Gorillas of Destiny match? I would love to see like a massive wrestling show where all the companies decide they want to work together. That's what I want. I should have known better than that. Holy shit. So if the Usos and Gorillas Destiny match ever happened, like that major show would be the reason. I am getting owned today. Good idea, but Super Clash series was a fail. Here's the thing, like, if you took like WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, and like put on like a massive show with all those, you would have to have everybody from those shows have a chance to get over. The problem is, I don't know. Like, the problem with that is you couldn't have one show dominate. Like, you would have to have it spread out that everybody would be able to get their stuff in. You know what I mean? Problem is ego. Yeah, that too. Greg, what about pay-per-view with a boxing match, a UFC match, and a wrestling match? Different audiences. I don't think it would work. I mean, you could try it, but I don't see that working out too well for anybody. You watch Blacklist. It's an NBC series, and no, I don't watch it. Kind of turned off from, what's his name? Who's the star of Blacklist? Help me out. Um, Somebody help me out. I can't think of his name. So why I do wrestling trivia, not like TV show trivia. Freaking, I don't know. Who's the star of the Blacklist? Help me out. I can't remember. It'll come to me as soon as like he types it in. Chris Butler, I wonder if you watched the trivia contest on Wrestling with Regret. I commented on the video, so yes, I did watch it. They did okay. I can't believe nobody remembered that Ric Flair was Roddy Piper's tag team partner when they won the titles at Cyber Sunday 2006. Which is funny because Brian Zane said Taboo Tuesday. It wasn't Taboo Tuesday, it was Cyber Sunday. Yes, I watched it. I definitely did watch it. You see, the Stomping Ground show is not selling. I can't imagine why. Number one, it's a terrible name. Not that Great Balls of Fire was much better, but Great Balls of Fire was actually a fantastic show. But yeah, I don't know what to say about that. All depends on personal preference, I guess. But my gosh, how do you even get your finisher up that high? It's insane. Yeah, I think after this, I'm done. Like, James Spader, that was it. Yeah, I didn't care for him after frickin' he was in The Office. Did not care for him at all. You're 3 minutes behind, you're fine. So, you guys have the opportunity to get a wheel spin going. Love to see you guys take advantage of that. I really would love a freaking spin today. I know it's different than my normal days, which is fine. But I really wish I could do something like special for you guys, a game or something. But I tried gaming last week and it didn't work. I could try again, I guess, but. Ken terminated by Google. I thought my $5 super chat would help the room pitch in another $5. I mean, you could try. Like, everybody could try to send in some more. And, like, say, hey, this is a teamwork thing to get another spin going. You should dance to Val Venus's theme. That's entrances right here. If I spin it and you request Val Venus with a $10 super chat, you got it. Wouldn't be the first time. The Real AC. I'm trying this new limited edition flavor of Mountain Dew called Liberty Brew. It's 50 flavors in one. I've heard it's good. Forgotten Sons will end up like the Shield. Well, we'll see. It was our first takeover, this last one. So we'll see. Domestic Butler. I'd be world class at wrestling trivia, but average at best with rest. I'm pretty good with wrestling trivia myself. That's why I've been champion for 450 plus days. Didn't someone do something special on No DQ for Great Balls of Fire? Yeah. We don't bring that up because unfortunately I was witness to the uncensored version of that. Take that how you will. August is going to be a good month for wrestling shows. Yep, I hope so. I'm crying out loud, SummerSlam's right now. Undisputed Era will end up like Nexus. They're already way more popular, Ginger. Way more popular and way more successful. SummerSlam month, All Out month, NXT TakeOver UK. SummerSlam is arguably better than WrestleMania. Anymore, it seems like it, doesn't it? It depends on the year, though. I'm trying to think what the last really good freaking what the last good SummerSlam was. 2018 was okay. WrestleMania Advance 17, that Fatal 4-Way. It was a good match. I'd love for NXT UK TakeOver to be in Scotland. I believe it's in Wales this time, if I'm Cardiff, Wales. So that's good to see it in not just England. Could you see Shane versus Kofi and Rollins versus McIntyre as title matches at SummerSlam? That would be fine. I'd be okay with 2 title changes too. Honestly, if I could be serious for a minute. You look really bored, Greg. Are you watching Raw? No, I'm not watching Raw. Can you imagine though? I think that would be pretty terrible if I was watching Raw at the same time. It's like the fans giving Big Show a good response after his 70th heel turn. Yeah, Big Show does turn heel quite a bit, doesn't he? NXT Nitro and NXT Extreme confirmed. NXT Nitro. JBL should be brought back to commentary. The best heel from 2004, 2005. He was a very entertaining heel, I'll give you that. Should he come back, though, for that purpose? I don't know. Big Show turned heel face 38 times. Yeah, I think there was a video out there that showed exactly how many times he made the heel and face turn. It was ridiculous. You never know what Big Show was going to be. If I lose my title, I should play Fallout 76 for 24 hours. I will pass. Also, that would require me to lose the title, which I don't see happening. And it probably does include WCW. Last best SummerSlam was 2013 was an excellent SummerSlam. 2014 was pretty good too. 2015 was okay. I know you're going to keep your WTC title for ages. Like I said, I got to talk to Aaron about Season 7, or what the heck we're doing, even. I've messaged him a couple times. I haven't heard back specifically on what the plan is. It's probably something that's going to have to wait till after he's done moving. 2014 was when Cena jobbed to Brock. Yes. When Suplex City really began was in 2014. I enjoyed it. Like some people like got uncomfortable watching it. I enjoyed it just because it was almost ridiculous to see Cena get beat up that bad. Like I don't think anybody ever saw that coming. I was Shane from Lesnar's scrap from the Rumble 2016 wanted to see that match. I guess Lesnar did not want to have that match. Would be my guess. He just straight up probably didn't want to wrestle Shane. Would be my guess. Don't quote me on that, but that would just be an assumption. Well, they started that rumor after the Shane or the Brock and Orton match at SummerSlam in 2016, and then nothing ever came of it. So the opportunity was there, they just didn't do anything with it. I don't know why they didn't, but it is what it is. Which Lesnar match was better, Extreme Rules versus Cena or SummerSlam versus Cena? Extreme Rules, but the finish was kind of garbage. If we're being honest. Make a bold prediction for WWE and AEW. WWE before the end of the year will do something incredibly newsworthy. Like it'll be a big deal in the wrestling world, and AEW will have CM Punk show up on their first weekly show. That's my bold predictions. So we'll see what happens. I'm surprised nobody's going after the Val Venus possibility. I really wish I could get this game to work on the channel. So I'll tell you what, I will, for those of you who watched my Super Showdown stream, you probably saw part of this match beforehand. I'm going to go get a snack, and you guys are going to enjoy one of my sarcastic commentary videos. I have multiple. There's a couple up on my channel, but I will get back to your super chats if, in fact, any are submitted during the course of the sarcastic commentary match. I'm going to get a snack, so I will keep you guys entertained by watching this. So check this out.
Hello everyone and welcome to yet another one of these sarcastic commentaries. I am Jack Campbell alongside my colleague, yes I have a colleague this time, Darius Blackerson.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I've been a fan of professional wrestling for years, and I'm very excited to see what we're going to have in store for us right here on this event. And I'm just very happy to be here. The event looks like it's about to start. Jack, it looks like a great...
Hailing
what is this?
from the sandy dunes of the Middle East, weighing in at 112
Where's the ring?
Marvin Assassin!
Is his name Marvin Assassin? Is that what he said?
What am I watching here?
And weighing in
What did you get me
at
involved with?
staggering
I've never seen this before
160
either.
pounds.
The
From
kid's wearing
Willie's
a
Meat Locker,
apron.
He is the deathmatch champion.
I don't know if I like this, Jack. I don't like this at all.
Well, the Butcher. Yeah, that's original. From Jenny's Meat Locker.
Jenny's Meat Locker?
That just sounds dirty. I don't know what that means. And some pretty awful kicks to start off the match. Now, Darius, I mean, you mentioned that you were a fan of pro wrestling, but have you ever seen anything quite like this?
I can say I have never seen a cinder block match before. I have no clue what that is. I use cinder blocks to sometimes prop my car up whenever it needs an oil change or something of the like. So I'm not quite sure how to use that in I wouldn't even call this professional wrestling environment, but the one kid looks like a rabbit, so I'm gonna go with it.
Well, you spelled his name and okay. Some pretty. That was crap. That was the definition of crap with that kick, and he's helping him climb the ladder. What a nice guy. Oh, that's the only way he can lift him. Okay.
Oh boy.
And that was intense. Although I've seen professional wrestling matches finish that way. Wow, that was. I don't know what that was.
Wow. Good thing is that I heard from a backstage source that the fella in the apron and skirt will be given a free certificate to Supercuts after this if he wins this match.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, and he gets slammed on the cinder blocks. Does that mean it's over? Does that mean our job is done? That would be awesome.
No. That...
Oh, apparently that means nothing. Apparently selling doesn't mean anything either. That's wonderful.
Is he
and nope. Completely no selling the slam on the cinder blocks. That's...
If you notice, the Butcher...
That was pretty crappy, too. I mean, what did he slam him on?
The Butcher is wearing a Hannibal Lecter mask.
Well, there's the infamous foot pin that he must have stole from ESW.
Yes.
I mean that's straight up old school Giddens Alley right there.
Old School Giddens is my guy. You don't ever compare Old School Giddens to this.
Sorry.
It's okay.
And kind of a slam.
Oh, boy.
And this is... now we got... Oh, that hurt, just setting it on him.
Oh, boy.
Oh, and the violent force that he's using behind that's...
Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to use something in a match unless you actually know how to use it.
I'm pretty sure that they don't even know how to do anything else other than body slam and foot pin.
I think they don't even know their gender, to be honest. So
well, I don't know what that thing is with the horns and the Marvin, the Martian assassin, whatever his name is.
I don't know. I just...
Kick and slam and... I mean, I've seen better roundhouse punches in a baseball fight. And they have no idea how to fight.
He did just kind of really punch him in the face, though, it looked like. So I kind of enjoyed that. As long as it doesn't mess up his cool Hannibal Lecter mask. I'm okay with this.
His cool Hannibal Lecter bandana he's got going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look out. And, oh, what a brutal shot to the chest.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And
is he going to hit him with the... Oh, no.
You know, you have a ladder right there, just saying.
What?
What exactly did that do?
Aerobatics?
That didn't do it. He rolled on top of it. Like, it literally did nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And all the kids made fun of them from taking tumbling classes when they were 4.
Uh-oh.
Ah!
Oh, and that actually looked like it might have done something. Well, maybe not. What do I know?
I'm pretty sure that cinder block was made out of styrofoam.
Well, if he made it out of styrofoam, you'd think he'd be able to hit him with it. Again, there is a ladder right there. Do you know how to do anything except flip Goatman?
What I like about Goatman is that had so much impact on him, he sold that move. You know, the other guy didn't even sell it. He's putting his body on the line here, Jack.
He couldn't sell fire to an Eskimo. That's how bad it is.
I'll
tell you what, this is
harsh.
I mean, I've seen some horrible contests before. This may take the cake. And I'm not talking about a cake that a butcher... Well, I guess butchers don't make cakes. I guess that's a baker.
The fella.
Maybe that's his tag team partner, and their manager is the candlestick maker.
And
Wow, what was that?
they all suck.
Well, they do all suck if it's anything like that. That was the worst body slam I think I've ever seen. And he's punching it right in front of his face. That's effective.
You know, I've seen a lot of kids try to do these hardcore matches in backyard. At least some of them would mutilate each other or do something like this. What is that? I think that's a
hammer.
I don't even think... What is he doing? You know, they're not... I want to see somebody, you know, have to go to the hospital or have to have their family put up the mortgage for their house to pay for their bills. Like, you know, if you're going to do something like this, do it. Go all the way with it. And this is not what these kids are doing here.
I'm begging the butcher to sell a move. I'm begging him.
He's dead?
Well,
No, he's not dead.
No. Standing up like nothing's wrong with him.
Oh, boy.
Is this a slam? Oh my goodness, it's only the 18th one of the match.
And the only one that looked effective so far. Somewhat.
Well, kind of.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Finally, you used the ladder. And I'm surprised you didn't flip.
My mom always told me, you know, Darius, Blackerson, if you're going to be playing with ladders like that, you make sure it's with some guy in a Hannibal Lecter mask covered in fake bloody handprints.
I love that your mom referred to you by both your first and your last name, as if the middle name wouldn't be enough.
My mom makes the best biscuits you'd ever have. You'd have to be there for it.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh, you should.
Okay, well, here we go with a knee. I don't think... What is this? What was that? And that infinitely painful touching with the cinder block.
He's boring him to death. He's boring us to death.
Yeah, he pretty much is. Maybe that's how he wins the match.
That's a...
I'm pretty sure that a standard size like ball peen hammer is not going to break through a cinder block.
I don't know. That looked kind of realistic. I
mean, maybe I don't know anything about breaking cinder blocks.
Alright, that's enough of that. So, I hope you enjoyed that part of that. I need to upload the full thing to YouTube so you can watch that. I have an Oreo brownie. You mentioned Oreos and it sounded delicious. So that's what I got. Share it with us. Well, you guys aren't here, so that makes it a little more difficult. I have a feeling it's going to be a long summer. Just making a prediction. So, what else is going on, guys? I have 8 people in your watch. See you, real I see. So if you guys are on Twitter, if you want to click underneath the video, go to share and copy the link, post it on your Twitter, post it on your Facebook if you want the wrestling discussion to continue, and let more people know about this. And also, see if we can't get a spin on the wheel pens on there. I really appreciate that. Like, the more people you let know about these, the more potential entertainment you get. Because we can do the wrestling discussion all day. Like, that's not a problem. But if you guys want the real entertainment, you gotta do the. I'm glad I knocked down the price of the wheel pens on too. Because I used to do it $20, and that seemed like it was going to be impossible. So, excuse me. It's not even right, Vinny McMahon. Here we go. So, what else is going on? What else do you guys want to talk about? It's tough to do this instead of my normal. Did you hear that Cena could be retiring soon? Well, you figure he hasn't been in a ring as far as wrestling goes since what, WrestleMania 34? There's probably no reason for him to keep going. And if Cena did win championship number 17, who would he take it from? That's the question. It makes you think that Cena will tie, or will break, rather, the record of Nate. But that remains to be seen. And it's very possible that he doesn't. We don't know. All speculation at this point. Nobody really knows for sure what's going on with the Doctor. But I'm sure we'll hear something soon in regards to that. He may not be done. He may just be waiting for the right match to come along. We don't know. Greg lets me up and fight. And that'd probably be more entertaining than what's going on right now. I don't know. I would. Here's the thing. I would love to see. Honestly, I would love to see Wrestling Trivia Challenge come back. I think that's something that needs to happen. But we'll see whether or not it actually does. It should come back. I'm just spitballing, really. So, one of the things I want to promote is if you go to youtube.com/luckofthedraw, you can see all the sarcastic commentary videos, which I need to start uploading that one that I have as backup. I'm also doing a special version of the game with a couple people from No DQ. I actually may put that up on this channel. So that's something you guys want to watch out for. It's not wrestling, but it is the No DQ people playing a game of Luck at the Draw. So far, I have Noah, Cindy, and Big G playing. Vinny had touch with man. Thoughts on LeBron James signing with WWE after he's done with basketball? Well, if he keeps playing with the Lakers, he might as well just sign with WWE now. I don't know if there's I don't know if there's a huge future for LeBron in WWE. It would be cool to see him, sure, but if he can't actually wrestle, I don't know. He's got to have the passion for it. He's got to have the passion. He's got to have the ability also. And quite frankly, I don't know if he has the wrestling ability. But that would remain to be seen. Um, it'd be interesting, that's for sure, to see it happen. But I don't see it. I know Shaq did. But Shaq wasn't like a full-time signing. He only showed up a couple times. He showed up at WrestleMania 32 to do the bit with Show. Um, that was pretty much it. It wasn't like a long-term contract or anything like that. Yeah, he was a guest host in '09, but like I said, it wasn't like a contractual thing that he did that. Like he wasn't signed. That's my point. Jeremy Piven was the best guest host. Him and Summerfest. Good old Jeremy Piven. Kind of hard to forget him, isn't it? That was actually one of my first questions on Trivia Challenge back all the way back in season 1. Shaq was in the Andre Battle Royal too. That's what I was saying. He was at WrestleMania 32. He did the bit with the Big Show before he got tossed out. Him and Show both got tossed. Who was the guy who helped Rollins beat Cena at SummerSlam? Jon Stewart. Former host of The Daily Show. Yep. Which was interesting. Although he kind of made it the problem with Jon Stewart was he made it obvious that he was going to attack Cena like close to the end. It's like, he's going to hit Cena, right? And Stewart's not a wrestler. But he did take an AA from Cena, so that was awesome. Yep, Jon Stewart. Yeah, the Daily Show guy. That's all you need to know, really. And then he came out for the next SummerSlam to try and help the New Day against the Club, and he almost got crushed on the ring post until Big E came back and saved him. Michael Che should have won the Andre the Champ Battle Royal and be pushed to the moon. The People's WWE channel. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Neither of the Saturday Night Live guys should have been anywhere near that Battle Royal. It was ridiculous that it came down to Braun and those two. It was damn near embarrassing. Because, it'd be one thing if they came in and were like the first two gone. But the fact that they almost eliminated Braun, like the two of them and the Hardys, and then the final three was the two Saturday Night Live guys and Braun. It's like, really, this is the future? I've been over Braun since he turned heel. Like, since that random-ass heel turn just to promote that Australia show. It's so weird. It, and the People's WWE channel. What are your thoughts on WWE? It seems to be at its worst now. Um, I think it's in a valley. It's clearly not at its peak. It's in a valley right now. Um, but I think with AEW coming, it's going to start to get better because it will have its competition. It won't have its Monday night competition, but I don't think that matters anymore because with all the availability for the AEW shows, they are going to make the money off the pay per views until, of course, they get their own like streaming deal. Uh, Snoop Dogg knocking out Santino at Mania 24 was funny to me. It was such a random thing too. That was the last time the club was a thing in WWE. Yeah, Super Showdown was very disappointing. Well, the sad thing is, the Super Showdown actually started out pretty decently. Um, it started out with the Universal title match with Rollins and Corbin, which was a good match. And then it went to Balor and Andrade, which the two of them had a great match against each other too. And then Shane and Roman, which I thought the finish to that was brilliant. After that, though, it kind of tanked. I mean, you had a bright spot in there with Kofi and Dolph, but even that couldn't save the second half of the show. The Battle Royal got the huge pop at the end. Unfortunately, it looked like nobody really cared to be in that Battle Royal except the guy who won, so LeBron James will be the one to dethrone Kofi. Okay. Um, I think there's more realism if Stephanie was the person to defeat Kofi than LeBron. Um, I don't think LeBron's going to sign with WWE. His career's in basketball. There's no need for him to hop over to WWE. Who knows? Maybe he'll go to AEW, like everybody else apparently wants to. Um, People's WWE channel. Vince doesn't know talent anymore. Triple H has some great ideas. A few guys have gone back to NXT, and you know what? It might help them. If the guys who went from NXT to the main roster who don't do anything go back to NXT, that may actually help them. I don't want to give away any spoilers. If you want spoilers, you can go to nodq.com and click on the NXT spoilers. I'm not going to tell you guys who a couple of the old NXT guys who went back, but we'll see. We'll see if that leads to anything. I hope it does. I hope it leads to popularity for them. You looking forward to Moxley versus Omega, Greg? It should be good. All Out should be very entertaining. I may actually get to watch it because it won't be on at the same time as a Notre Dame football game. I didn't watch it all in because it was at the same time as Notre Dame versus Michigan, and my allegiance would lie to college football on that one. So I was going to watch my Irish beat the Wolverines. Um, yeah, so fortunately Notre Dame's first game I think is on a Monday, which is so weird. So I might actually be able to watch All Out, but we'll see. It helps out NXT guys that have been on Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, it does. I'm still wondering what they're going to do with Aleister Black. If they're waiting until after Stomping Grounds to do something with him and give him a program for SummerSlam, or if this whole like backstage thing is going to be him turning heel and him just going out and beating people up for the heck of it, and like begging for somebody to face him. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. So, of course, youtube.com/Luck of the Draw was promoting that. Was promoting the Luck of the Draw game with the No to Q people, which I'm filming next week. Um, I'm also filming one on the 29th, which is a live game, and that one will be up on my channel hopefully the same week. Um, so yeah, that's what's gonna happen with that. So go subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/luck of the draw. I'm gonna try and do more of the wrestling rewinds with Jeff. But he just got a new job, so his availability is not what it used to be. Um, so we'll see. Of course, we have this lovely thing, which I want to get spinning today, but all depends on what you guys want to see. The Wheel of Penset. Hopefully, it'll be better when I get my Sunday streams going again. It's been rough, guys. It's been really rough trying to get. My summer schedule is screwy at best. People's WWE channel. What are your thoughts on the new SmackDown logo for when they go to Fox? I like it. It's kind of old school. It kind of puts me in mind of not like the classic SmackDown logo, but they have like the exclamation point again. I'm really hoping when they go to Fox, they bring back out that big fist. I doubt it because they don't do the cool sets anymore, but I would really love to see the SmackDown fist return. It's because it's awesome. It's so awesome. Such a classic part of the SmackDown set. They need to bring it back. It's been 20 years since SmackDown's been on the air. Can you believe that? So they'll probably honestly kick it off with like 20 years of SmackDown when they debut with Fox. Which would be fine. Realistically. They should make it a big deal when they go to Fox. Be like, we debut on Fox next week, and it's our 20th anniversary, blah, 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 blah. That's what they should do. It says a lot when fans are more interested in a logo than the in-ring product. I'm hoping, like, there's been a lot of reports about WWE becoming more edgy once they go to Fox, because Fox wants the edgy programming along with the sports stuff. They want it to be probably more like intense like UFC. We'll see if that happens. Do you remember when Big Show and Kane invaded SmackDown when Batista was supposed to face Edge? Yes. It was Eddie Guerrero's last SmackDown, actually, when he did that. I do remember. It was a great moment, too. Because, like, that was the true, like, hey, we care about our brand thing. Other than the random crap they do for Survivor Series now. I enjoyed it. Who's your all-time favorite wrestler? Mine's The Rock. I am a Shawn Michaels guy. Always been an HBK guy. Was Edge the best heel of the ruthless aggression era? That's very possible that it could be. He was a great heel. Not gonna take anything away from Edge. He did very well for himself. I'm trying to think who could have even come close to that. And it's hard to come up with anybody. Do you think we'll ever see The Rock in WWE again? I'm sure. I really think when they go to Fox, they should bring The Rock back for that. And that was also another question, I believe. What major name can you see coming back for the 20th SmackDown Fox debut from chat site forums? I think The Rock would be perfect. I mean, it is his show after all. I'd love to see The Rock. Um, I don't know. They really should try and bring back. I'm sure Taker will come back for it. Um, you have a couple other guys too, but The Rock and Taker and probably Edge um, would probably be the names. Why did Chavo get? Why didn't Chavo get the push instead of Ray? He's Eddie's blood. Because Ray was more over than Chavo was, and also Chavo was coming off the whole Kerwin White thing, so Angle might come back for it too. Angle was a big part of SmackDown in the early 2000s, so Angle would definitely be a good choice. I don't think who else was a big deal for SmackDown. Obviously, Edge was. Edge was like Mr. SmackDown. So Angle, Edge, Taker. Um, I don't know who else, but I'm sure they bring back some good names. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it does well for them. Bring back Luther Reigns. Yeah, I'm sure the No DQ, the OG No DQ crew would love to see Luther Reigns back. The brother of Roman. Um, Cena could come back as a Thugonomics gimmick. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that'd be fine. Have Cena do the old Thugonomics gimmick back on the 20th anniversary of SmackDown, which technically I guess already happened because they did like an April episode of SmackDown, but it didn't count as the first official like SmackDown show. So what else? Teddy Long, of course you gotta bring Teddy Long back. He was GM of SmackDown for like 56 years. Um, not really that long, but you guys know what I mean. Um, how long you've been watching WWE? I've been watching for 19 years. Probably 27 for me. Somewhere around there. It's been a while. I mean, I wouldn't be the Wrestling Trivia Challenge champion for this long if I hadn't been watching wrestling for a long time. But yep, it has definitely been a while for me. Okay, so what was I promoting? So maybe I don't know what other things would you guys like to see on my live stream? I've tried to do a couple different things and they haven't exactly worked. Um, have you ever been to Mania? Yes, I was at WrestleMania 28 with my wife and my best friend. Um, we actually drove from Pennsylvania to Miami, which was a fantastic road trip experience. Definitely one of the most fun road trips I ever had. Um, can't say enough about it. It was kind of awesome seeing The Rock live. That it was actually my wife who suggested to go so we could see The Rock live, um, which was kind of funny. Um, but yeah, it was a blast. It was a blast seeing WrestleMania live. Got to see the Hell in a Cell with Triple H and The Undertaker also, which was definitely sweet. Um, what else? And of course, we got to see Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, their 18-second epic. I mean, the crowd popped for it because of the quick title change, but Then you saw a lot of people the next night were booing Sheamus and going as far as to cheer Alberto Del Rio. I live in England. I would love to go to Mania, but it's expensive. Yes, it definitely is expensive to go. That's not a lie. But I know a lot of people who come from around the world to go to Mania. I'm surprised, especially in this day and age, that they don't do WrestleMania in England. Yes, Punk and Jericho was on that show too. Um, because I mean, they do the Saudi Arabia pay-per-views, they did the Australian event, and they stream it on the network. Why couldn't they do WrestleMania in England? I mean, that would actually be preferable to the people in America. You start WrestleMania over there at 5 o'clock. It's 12 o'clock on the East Coast. Start WrestleMania at noon. It ends at like 7 o'clock, and then you have a couple hours before you have to go to sleep. I'm for WrestleMania in England. Do it. I'm totally cool with that. So I go to Raw and SmackDown when they come here. It's never sold out. A lot of empty seats. That's surprising. I figured it would be more packed, I guess. And I guess, I mean, maybe not. What show from the past would you have liked to have gone to live? Um, 92 Rumble. Oh, I'd love to have been there for that moment. Flair lasting an hour in the Rumble, almost an hour, and winning the thing. Do you watch NXT UK? I try to catch it. I don't catch up with as much wrestling as I would like to. Just not enough time in the day for me. Uh, Working a full time job and just if I just consume myself with wrestling, I wouldn't have time to do other stuff. I love wrestling, obviously. Don't get me wrong, but as much as I would think it'd be cool to watch it 24/7, I think I'd drive myself insane afterwards. But I, Mr. Anderson, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Yes, it is me. It's me. It's DDP. Or yeah, obviously I'm not tagged up page, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm looking for another. Well, I'm looking for my first spin. I haven't had any spins today. Interestingly enough, I went to take over Blackpool. It was awesome. Triple H came out after it went off the air. Well, that's pretty sweet. Give the people that moment. Did anybody see the video of Triple H going to the Performance Center and like doing his full blown entrance in a suit? That was kind of sweet. Wouldn't you just love to have a boss like that who comes out and does that? Um, I think that'd be funny. Yeah, I haven't been to any. Uh, I haven't been to a WWE show in a while. I think the last one I went to was like a house show or something. I went to the 2014 Rumble, obviously. Not gonna miss the Rumble when it's in my hometown. Yes, Triple H is great. It's funny looking back at it now, like with how hated of a heel he was in 2003, 2004 time frame. That 15 years later, we'd love him and want more of him. Um, it's strange how wrestling works. Did you do the whole weekend Hall of Fame access and Raw? I did access in the Hall of Fame. We actually did not get tickets to Raw. So I missed out on Lesnar's return. Um, but I guess I had no idea that the Raw after Mania was going to be a big deal. And that was really the first one that was a big deal. That started the whole Raw after Mania is worth watching. Could we see Triple H wrestle in NXT against a big NXT name? If the storyline was there for it, sure, why not? I don't know who it would be against, but I don't know, possibly a baby. That's probably the only person I could see going against Triple H is Adam Cole. Have you ever been to a SummerSlam or Survivor Series? Yes, I was at the '95 SummerSlam, long held as the worst SummerSlam of all time, but hey, I was there for it. And I have not been to Survivor Series. I've been to the Rumble, I've been to WrestleMania, I've been to SummerSlam, not been to Survivor Series yet. Which sucks because they were going to do Survivor Series in Pittsburgh, but it conflicted with a Steelers Ravens game. And they probably thought that the fans in Pittsburgh would not want to go to a wrestling show when there's a Steelers game on, especially against a rival, which they'd be correct. I mean, Pittsburgh is a hardcore football city. Um, so, good move by WWE there to avoid that. I'm guessing you've been to a Raw and SmackDown. Yes, I've been to one of each. I was actually on Attitude Era Raw, and I was at SmackDown in 2008. It was actually a SmackDown ECW taping. That's how long ago that was. So I've been to a Raw, I've been to a SmackDown, I've been to a couple pay-per-views. I was at Bragging Rights when Batista turned on Rey Mysterio. I was at Armageddon when Edge became world champion again. And of course the pay-per-views I mentioned earlier. So I've been to quite a few WWE shows. I've been to house shows too. So not just the TV taping, but I've been to house shows too. And house shows are enjoyable because they're just the wrestling. There's like little storyline on them at all, which is perfect. Because you don't really need the storylines for. You don't really need storylines for the house shows. You can just go there and watch wrestling, which is perfect. Have you been to an Impact show? I have not. Trying to think if Impact's even come to Pittsburgh area. I don't know if they have or not. So no, I've not been to Impact. I was never at a WCW show either. I've been to indie shows, but I haven't been to like Ring of Honor, which I know has come to Pittsburgh. Um, Obviously, never been to AEW because they've only run a couple shows. You've been to Impact 3 times. Okay, well that's 3 more than I have. It's hard because Impact typically doesn't go on the road. Um, I mean, they may do a little bit more now, but you're at No Way Out when Taker and Batista teamed up against Cena and Michaels. So 2007 time frame. Cool. I'm sure that was an interesting match. The only ECW show I was at was the ECW SmackDown taping, not the original ECW. Just to clear that up. So unfortunately, no, I didn't get to do the whole like ECW chant. I mean, it was still a decent time. It was like right before the championship scramble. Uh, Unforgiven, which that's a match they need to bring back. Really is. Um, you think Stomping Grounds will just be a throwaway pay per view? I hope not. I hope there's like actual storyline progression. But really, the storylines have been garbage lately. So that's one of the frustrating parts about being a WWE fan, especially currently, because you know they're capable of so much more than is actually happening. But especially after listening to the Moxley interview, it's so frustrating that they could be so much better, but they're just not. Um, it's really annoying. I'm hoping though that they get their stuff together and give a great show. Whether that happens remains to be seen. But it wouldn't shock me if Corbin wins the titles and then Styles comes back and beats him for it. I'd be fine with that. Did you hear Lars Sullivan is injured, so we won't see him versus Lucha House Party for the sixth time? I mean, Lars Sullivan's time in WWE has been just kind of awful, if we're going to be honest. He's had like no momentum. They just booked him to be a monster. Here's my problem too. For those that watched the freaking Super Showdown show, they had Lars Sullivan. No, they had the Lucha House Party get disqualified in like one of the weirdest and kind of stupidest finishes I've ever seen. Like, why would you build to a show at what you called your WrestleMania equivalent just to have it finished by disqualification? Is what it is, I guess. Lars is going to be the Gene Snitsky. He kind of looks like Snitsky, circa 2007. And it's not his fault either. I don't know. I would really like. Yeah, he should have. He should have destroyed the Lucha House Party. But they had this weird booking that they wanted to protect the Lucha House Party, which why? Who exactly does it benefit to protect the Lucha House Party? It benefits nobody. Lucha House Party should have been left on 205 Live. Exactly, chat site forums. Nobody benefits from the Lucha House Party getting over at all. Unless you were going to build them to be like legitimate contenders or something, there's no reason that finish should have come anywhere close to happening. But, you know, WWE, so it did. They do what they want. You ready for the rain? Yeah, it's supposed to rain for like the next 2 weeks. I need to look at the weather for the 29th. I hope it holds out. My wife and I were going to go kayaking this week because we actually have the week off of work. But if it rains like it says it's going to, it's just going to be annoying. Um, the whole 24/7 title thing is just stupid, locking R-Truth in a box gripping TV. Well, it's a unique way for him to avoid defending the title. But I like the 24/7 title. I said it would be a good thing from the beginning, and I stand by it. Personally. Some people may agree, some people may disagree, but I like it. Of course, I've been calling for it to come back since 2002 when the friggin' hardcore title disappeared. What did you think about Bray Wyatt's segment this past week? It was a little, like, it was different. It was definitely different. R-Truth is the Crash Holly of this era, always finding a way to get it back. Yeah? Is he the Houdini of hardcore, like Crash Holly was? I don't know if you give him that name, but he's like, what, a 5 or 6 time hardcore champion? 24/7 champion? Eventually somebody's going to beat Truth and like hold on to the title for a while. People's WWE channel, when can you see Lesnar cashing in? A lot of people have been saying the first SmackDown on Fox, which would be interesting because that would technically be his first TV match in like 15 years. More than 15 years, actually. But I don't know. I think it could be a good thing for him if he cashes in on that Fox show. A lot of people thought it would be Super Showdown, but those people were wrong. Matthew Putnam, have you seen the new X-Man? No, I have not. What top name can you see winning the 24/7 title? I don't know which top name you'd want to give it to as far as who would quote unquote need it. Not that any of them would really need it. But I could see them giving it to like. I think a Baron Corbin actually hold the 24/7 title would be a good thing. Mr. Anderson, take the 24 title to the grocery store and have a fight there, kind of like when Booker T and Stone Cold had the fight in the freezer section. Yeah, I mean that was such a great segment. On paper, you're like, they're gonna fight in a grocery store. How stupid is this? But then they actually pulled it off, and my goodness, was it great TV? It was so good. Can't put it over enough. WWE already booked a former WWE champion as the 24/7 champion. Yeah, that's true. Gender. Jinder does count. He's a 2-time 24/7 champion. And he's a former WWE champion and United States champion. So he counts. He was WWE champion for 6 months, crying out loud. I think he counts. Braun can't. Braun, because he can toss people around. Yeah, Braun is 24/7 champion. Well, he'd have to win it from a heel if he's still considered a babyface. But yeah. What's sad, Ken? Let me know. Mahal had to use GHB awards to get a world title push. But Mahal wasn't even the level of Muhammad Hassan to get the world title. The problem with Muhammad Hassan is he was a victim of bad timing. With the whole, like, it was. The whole, like, terrorist thing that happened. I'm not even going to try to waste time. The whole terrorist thing that happened, like the London bombing, that happened the same week that they had like masked guys attack the Undertaker. It was really bad timing. It wasn't WWE's fault that happened. It was just poor timing. And he was supposed to get like a world title push to face Batista, but when that happened, you couldn't put that on TV. So they pretty much took his character off TV at Great American Bash by having him take the last ride through the stage, and then you never saw him again. And then you took like 3 or 4 months to bring back Daivari even. It was weird. Kind of feel bad for Muhammad Hassan because he was probably going to be a big deal, but timing is just very rough. So we will see if anything happens to that. Plus the bully tactics of JBL forced Hassan to quit. Well, that's not surprising. What's your favorite version of Matt Hardy? Team Extreme, version 1, Broken, or Woken Matt? I always liked V1. Especially all the Matt facts. They entertained me. Like super cocky V1 Matt Hardy was great to me. It's ironic we hear about JBL's bulliness when he became JBL, not when he was Justin Hawker or Blackjack Bradshaw. So when John got a huge push, he became a bully. I guess. He was probably a bully before that, but Joey Styles, was it Joey Styles that beat him up? Probably. Broken Matt was wonderful, yes. Remember, Greg, Matt Hardy hates mustard. Now, he strongly dislikes mustard. 2003 Rumble entrance when he did the whole V1 thing and he almost tripped over his own feet. Poor Matt Hardy. Whenever I watched the 2003 Rumble, like, Matt was going to do such a great entrance and then he like almost tripped over himself. I like Woken Broken character, but I miss V1 and Shannon Moore. I'd like to see a Where Are They Now on Shannon Moore. Is he still wrestling? Is Shannon Moore still wrestling? He might be. I'm trying to see if anybody else. Nothing else for the draw. Okay. I would have Matt win the 24/7 title. He's been in the segments, they just haven't given it to him. They should have somebody other than Truth win the title, though. Like, he's doing great with the role, but, like, somebody else needs to hold the title. Shannon Moore was very underrated as an MFer in 3 count. Jeez. Yeah, Shannon Moore never really got a. Was he a champion in WCW? I don't think 3 Count ever wore the gold. Um, yeah, I don't think 3 Count ever wore the championship. Um, I don't think Moore was ever a cruiserweight champion. I don't think so either. I really don't. What did you think of the Cody Dustin match at Double or Nothing? Have not seen it yet. I need to. I need to find it somewhere that has Double or Nothing. I've only seen the Casino Royale battle or the Casino Battle Royale. I need to see it. People were saying it was such a great match. I have to sit down and watch it. It just depends on when I actually get the time to sit down and watch it. I heard Dustin's blade job was reminiscent of Eddie's from Judgment Day. Shannon Moore's in Atomic Wrestling Entertainment. Okay, I was wondering if he was still wrestling. It was a great storytelling match. I believe. Well, they're roads. Ran out loud. Storytelling's in their blood. Okay, so got the wheel pen set here. I might. Tell you what, I'll give away a free spin if somebody buys a spin. Somebody does a wheel of pen cent spin, I'll give one away for free. How about that? So I'll pick somebody in the like you buy. Tell you what, you buy a spin and you can pick a spin for somebody else. Let's do that. I know, Ken. They might pick you. You never know. Pensen, that's my nickname, the Pennsylvania Sensation. So I call this the Wheel of Pensen. You can win a shirt from my Pro Wrestling Tees store. You can watch me do a wrestler's entrance, sing a song, do a dance, tell one of my road stories from my indie days. And there's also something on here called Truth Time, which is you ask me a personal question, I tell you the truth on it, whether I want to or not. What's up? Not unless they say so. Otherwise, tell you what, if you submit another 5, though, I'll give you the spin. If somebody submits a $5 super chat and says, "Hey, this match is for Ken to get the spin," did you used to be a wrestler? Well, I was a manager, but I did compete in a couple matches, lost them both. I was mostly used to just get beat up, but yeah, I did have a couple matches. Thought you changed the road stories to wrestling promos. I could do wrestling promos instead of road stories. Did you know that Greg Chair is the master of the 450? You know what? On a trampoline, I can actually do a 450 splash. Actually, on a trampoline, I can actually pull out a Phoenix splash. So, fun fact. What was your manager name? The Pennsylvania Sensation, Greg Cherry. I mean, I have the... Cherry is like a perfect wrestling name. It really is. And I just love to cut promos and stuff. So, but yeah, going back to this. If somebody submits a $10 super chat and they can give away a spin to whoever they want to, I'll keep that going the rest of the stream. The last hour. Buy one, get one spins. Can I do a shooting star press? Not well. um, hey, Greg, do you watch the popular wrestling YouTube channels such as What Culture or Cultaholic? Not very often. I mean, I've seen a couple of their videos, but it's not very often. Were you a heel or babyface manager? I was a heel manager. Babyface authority figure, though. So figure that one out. Actually, I did play a babyface manager a couple times. But I was mostly heel. But yeah, I can change road stories to cutting a promo. And you just tell me what to cut a promo on. So either way, buy one, get one spins. Cherry can scare the pants out of you if he tells you to STFU. I'm not kidding. You watch the intro, I guess. Yep. So tell you what. Rest of the stream, buy one, get one spins. $10, you get 2 spins. You get the first one's for you. Second one you give away to somebody else in the chat. Let's do it. Come on. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Buy one, get one spins. Well, I appreciate that. You should see the whole thing. It's somewhere on YouTube. Unless you have seen the whole thing. But yeah, I can do the promo cutting instead of road stories. That's fine. So let's do it. Let's do buy one, get one spins. $10 for 2 spins. That's a heck of a deal because if you win 2 shirts, like you're essentially getting a $25 shirt for $5. It's a freaking good deal. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Buy one, get one spins. Who's the best manager in WWE today? Probably Paul Heyman. There aren't a whole lot of managers. Well, I didn't even touch anything. That was weird. It's like happy hour for spins. Yeah, it'd probably be Paul Heyman. If you asked like years ago, it'd be Heenan. But as far as today goes, I mean, who do you have? You have Zelina Vega, you have Paul Heyman. Does anybody else really have a manager anymore? Say AOP, but Drake Maverick is like doing his own thing. Leo Rush, I think, might be gone from WWE. It was never confirmed, but he was just taken off TV. Yeah, Leo Rush was a good talker, but he just kept getting into trouble backstage. I don't know. I liked Leo Rush as a character, and he's definitely a good heel. But I mean, I could see that. Does he still go by Enzo Amore, or is it just Enzo? Have you seen any of The Rock's movies? I've seen a couple of the Fast and the Furious movies. Yeah, I have seen a couple of the Rock's movies. I still know Sasha Banks. Do you think WWE quietly letting her sit out her contract till it's up? Um, I don't know. She may come back before SummerSlam. If she doesn't come back before SummerSlam, I'm not sure what they're doing with her. When is WTC returning? As soon as I get a hold of Aaron and ask him officially what's going on with it, I'll let you know. Because your guess is as good as mine. I want it to come back. I'm ready for it to come back. But I don't know. I hope WWE doesn't give her a Neville treatment. She's too good to sit out. Yeah, Sasha Banks is way too good to sit out. But she would probably go to AEW once she was out of the contract. Um, I'd like to see WTC or Talk Wrestling get a reboot. Well, I'm still the champion, so um, I would like to see. I'd like to see the trivia thing come back. It's been 2 months, really, and we haven't done anything with it. But I would like to start defending the title again. Once Aaron's all settled in, I'm sure we'll get things taken care of. When do you think it's a good time to have Wyatt return? I was thinking the Rumble, or do you think that would be too long? I would say get him back for a SummerSlam feud. Who that would be against is no idea. Must be hard for Aaron to review a crappy Raw and SmackDown. Yeah. Sasha is a great worker. She might have gotten the Money in the Bank contract and been the champion instead of Bayley. Um, yeah, I thought Sasha was going to come out and uh, take somebody out when the Money in the Bank contract, but apparently that was Lesnar's gimmick for that thing. I'm just gonna send out a tweet real quick for the buy one get one spins. Um, yeah, so if you buy a spin of the wheel Pensen, you actually get two. You get to give one away to somebody else. How about Balor have him interfere in his match? I mean, you could do the Wyatt Balor feud again, but it's hard to say. Will Bray Wyatt be a babyface or will he be a heel upon returning? That's the question. I guess I need the link in here. I don't like the Iconics, but they're good at being obnoxious heels. They definitely are. They definitely are good at that. Let's see. Did you watch Takeover 25? I did. Great show. I was worried that I wasn't going to get to watch it because it was storming real bad. Um, let's see. Who else? Who else can I get in here? Why are WWE jobbing out champions? No idea. Of course, they've been doing that for years. The Kabuki Warriors. Um, and no, the Iconics are like high school best friends. So it's nothing like that. Okay. So I sent out the tweet for buy one get one spins, which I will be doing till 3 o'clock, which will be the end of the stream. But if you want to get the excitement up, let's do it. Let's get me doing some entrances. I haven't done any in a little bit now. I sang last week a karaoke to Motorhead's King of Kings, and I think I did a road story too. Who do you think will headline the Hall of Fame? Maybe The Rock, since it's in Florida. The Rock will probably be in the Hall of Fame someday. Whether it's next year or remain to be seen. It will probably be Batista, though. Mr. Anderson, I think WWE has too many good women's superstars on SmackDown that they don't know what to do with them. Don't apologize for super chatting. Never apologize for super chatting. See if anybody will do a $5 one to team up with you for a spin. Be like, hey, send a $5 one and you'll get to split the spin unless it's a shirt. Can't send half a shirt to 2 different people. But yeah. If anybody teams up, if anybody sends the $5, I'll have you guys split the spin. I feel bad too. I want to donate, but well, I appreciate that. Like I said, tell your friends and whatnot. Get them in here and be like, hey, I would have half the shirts on, showing you my lovely, sexy beer bill. Greg and the wife should sing for $30 donation. I don't think my wife wants to be on this, to be honest. I can sing for a $10 donation if it lands on karaoke. I might sing 2 songs depending on how the spins go. Do a buy one get one. And hey, if you buy $20, you get 4 spins. So there you go. $30, 6 spins. You have lots of options there. If I wore a half shirt, I would be the Asian Ralphus. Good old Ralphus. Why isn't he in the Hall of Fame yet? Have Jericho induct him if he wasn't working for AEW. I'm sure Jericho will work with AEW for a few years and then get in the Hall of Fame. So if anybody wants to give $5 to team up with Ken for a spin, go ahead. I'll allow it. Cherry, wasn't Ralphus just a truck driver? He was so entertaining with Jericho and Smiley. He was Jericho's personal security. Oh, Ralphus. Jericho could get anything over. It's incredible. I think Jericho or Ralphus worked better with Jericho than he did with Norman Smiley. But of course, I think he actually got in the ring when he was with Norman Smiley. But People's WWE channel for super chat. Do I have to enter credit card details? I think on YouTube you do. I'm not sure about Streamlabs. Let me check. You may have to do it for Streamlabs too, but I think you can also Streamlabs. You might be able to do PayPal. Let's look at the draw one. How big do you think AEW will or can get? As my dog yawns. Yeah, I'm not sure about Streamlabs. I think you can do that with PayPal. I'm not sure. I believe you do have to enter credit card details, which is fine. YouTube's secure. Mr. Anderson. So I didn't get to watch Super Showdown, but I heard Taker was mad at how the Goldberg Taker match ended. You don't have PayPal? Well, that's okay. Then the credit card will just work fine. I don't even know if PayPal works, honestly. It was just throwing out an option. My dog is called Bing Cherry, after Bing Crosby and a type of cherry. Um, I've heard the Goldberg versus Undertaker blow up backstage was not a thing because Goldberg was concussed, so he probably didn't have any sense about him to do it. Chat side forums, you got PayPal. You want to see if it works on the Streamlabs? I'm not sure. Oh, okay. You check with Streamlabs to see if the PayPal works. I'm not sure if it does because I just tried to do the. I just tried to do it on my phone, but I'm not sure if it works. You can type in whatever nickname you want, I guess. It goes through Google Play. That's weird because I've. Well, I guess that makes sense. You have to sign up to Google Play app. Really? How weird. What kind of dog have you got? He's a mix. He's mostly hound. Yeah, Google and YouTube are weird. Which is weird because you're already logged into YouTube and you wouldn't think you'd have to. Yeah, the dog does have quite a bark. We always know when the mail's here. It barks downstairs and it echoes through the house. Yeah, it is weird. That's very weird. Streamlabs shouldn't be that way though. Like I think you can just do that without having to sign into all the Google stuff. Like if you go to streamlabs.com/look at the draw one, open a different window, I think you can do it with that. I heard Greg's dog is just as mean as Cherry is in Wrestling Trivia Challenge. That's not the case. I'm way meaner. Greg's dog is bigger bark than Roman Reigns. Are you demanding an appearance from the Bangers? Is he a rescue dog? Well, we got him at the Humane Society. We actually weren't looking to pick up a dog, but like we kind of fell in love with him, and he's awesome. I tell you what, will you guys figure out whether or not Streamlabs accepts PayPal or whatnot? I'll bring in the Bangers because I'm sure you'd love to be in here. Hi, Big Pie. Come here, Bangers. Cool. Big Pot. Come here. Hi, Bangers. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hey. Come here. Come here. People want to see you. Bangers. Where are you going? What are you sniffing? What are you doing? Come here. That's not like it hurt. Come here. Hi, Bangers. Hi, Bangers. What's your question, Kat? Woof. I got a bang. What's your question? Booker T in this podcast said black wrestlers rarely bleed in wrestling. I think only Rock and JYD bled in their careers. I'm trying to think. I feel like more did. I know Devon's bled a few times actually. Um, especially, I think a one night stand Devon bled. Um, I can't remember though offhand. Many others that did. Uh, but yeah, it's true that it is a rare sight. Hey, you want to go see mommy? Ooh, fingers. Go see mommy. Go see mommy. Go get her. Well, New Jack. Yeah, New Jack too. Yeah, New Jack bled all the time. Crying out loud. So if all these pay-per-view wins that Shane's getting turns out he's got to face Kofi next for the WWE Championship and win the title, do you think that will lower WWE's ratings? I don't think so. I actually think it'd be funny if Shane actually got a WWE Championship match and won the title. Ron Simmons might have bled. I'm not sure. I'd have to look. You'd have to look at like his entire career to see if he's ever bled. But I don't know that. I feel like at some point he did, but don't quote me on that. Have you ever met a wrestler? Yes, I've met several of them. I have a picture with Shawn Michaels somewhere on my Facebook. I've also I got to meet Norman Smiley actually at Access. Got to meet R-Truth. Kind of met Santino, kind of a douche. I've met others too. I actually worked a show with Buff Bagwell, and also was trained by Corey Graves. So there you go. So yes, I have. Yes, a mass transit incident. I've never seen it, but yeah. You know, there's actually a clip of me. It's still on YouTube of Santino's foreign exchange from Access 28. You'll see me and my wife at the end of it. Afterwards, he took pictures with everybody except me, despite me being the only person wearing his merch. So figure that out. What's R-Truth and Norman like? Both good guys. R-Truth was hilarious. And Norman Smiley was just chill. I think he was just working the event. Yeah, the whole mass transit thing is kind of sad. They mentioned it briefly on the ECW Rise and Fall. The Rise and Fall of ECW. The master of the honkometer shouldn't have disrespected you like that. You are the champ, man. Yeah, I'm more successful than him at the moment. What days am I at? I gotta be close to 460. Give me a second. Days since March 10th, 2018. 462. There you go. Are Buff and Corey nice guys? Buff Bagwell was cool. Graves, I'm not gonna say he's not. He's funny. He's definitely funny. But like he does take the wrestling business very seriously. There was actually one. No, I'm not gonna tell this story. You know what? I'm gonna save that one. Save that one for a road story one. because that was funny. That was hilarious, actually. It's a Corey Graves story. I'll save that one. Just remind me if it comes up on the wheel. If Shane wins the title, I think Brock will cash in Money in the Bank on him. Yeah, but they're both heels, so I don't know if that would work. Because that would either make Brock babyface or Shane babyface. I don't think they want Shane to be a babyface. I like Corey Graves. He's turning into somewhat of a Jesse Ventura of our generation. Yeah, I can see that. He's more abrasive than Heenan, so Jesse Ventura is a good comparison. I'm surprised nobody's taking advantage of the buy one get one spins. Yeah, Corey Graves with the shaved head looks more like he did when he was trading me. Shaved head's a much better look for him. All right, so I sent out that tweet. I sent a message. Yeah, it did kind of look like pink a little bit. I sent out a message to a couple of my messenger groups. People's WWE channel. I hate this whole wild card rule. You're not in the minority. I think everybody hates the wild card rule. It's so bad. It's like, what's the point of the brand split if you're going to do the wild card rule? I don't even think it should be a rule. I think it should be an option. But they make it seem like, hey, we got to use this all the time. Blah, 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 blah. It's so bad. I think Eugene is still. I think he's supposed to have a match with Coach soon, like on some indie show. Or maybe that already happened. I'm not sure. But yeah. I'm not sure what. Yeah, the whole wild card rule is dumb. Let's be frank. It's bad. And really, there's no point to it. Like who does it benefit? The wild card rule was a Vince USA Network thing. Why? WWE seemed to have already forgot about changing the look at the third hour Raw. Yeah, they also forgot that we're the authority. That lasted all of how long? I don't know. They do a lot of questionable things. It drives us all nuts. We know it to be true. Damn it. Yeah, I know we never were, technically. I'm just saying for the continuity of the shows. That's what they said. It's when you want consistent booking and you want consistent just everything with WWE and they don't give it to you, it's frustrating. You know, Mr. Anderson, we were actually talking about guest hosts earlier. There is actually more of a point to that than the wildcard rule. I suppose the wildcard rule keeps it unpredictable, gives champions many challengers. Well, if you're going to do that, then end the brand split, you know? I mean, Raw's Alexa Bliss is challenging for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Stomping Grounds. Think about that. And you know what? I can't say much, Ken, because there were some good celebrity guest hosts. Think about Bob Barker. That episode of Raw was entertaining because they did the whole bit with him and Jericho. Oh yay, my wife is listening to Panic at the Disco. Hooray. Bob can host an AEW show and control Chris again. That would be funny. I miss Bob Barker as the Price is Right host. I like Drew Carey, but he's bland as the host of Price is Right. He's not bad. Obviously, he's no Bob Barker, but, you know, Drew's been hosting the show now for like 12 years. Will he ever be Bob Barker? No, but he's not supposed to be Bob Barker. He's supposed to be Drew Carey. So I will say this, that Drew's beginnings as Price is Right host were a little rough. But he definitely improved. Yeah, no one can fill Bob's shoes. It's a lot to ask. Hey, Ken, never ever apologize for bringing up game shows. That's like my other love. You bring up game shows, I could talk about them all friggin' day. Yeah, we could talk. Yeah, we could talk about game shows the rest of the chat if you want. I don't care. What do you think about John Cena being the host of a kids game show? Well, it's not technically a kids game show. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader is more about the adults seeing if they're as smart as a fifth grader. Because you figure that was on Fox for years. It was an entertaining show. I think Cena will do a good job. I thought this is strictly sports entertainment. No. Crying out loud. I know Aaron titles this as WWE discussion, but it's really just random. It's whatever you guys want to talk about. Game shows you win prizes, yeah. And you know what? Luck of the draw. The stuff that my show is named after. Like my YouTube channel is named after that. Based on a game show. Of the same name. So there you go. Match game? Match game's okay. I actually just got to check out the new Press Your Luck, hosted by Elizabeth Banks. It was pretty good. I like the new bonus round. That's a neat twist. Yeah, Jeff Foxworthy is hilarious. I mean, the old match game. Yeah, the old match game was like over the top and ridiculous, which was the entire point. The new match game I have not watched, but I'm not a huge Alec Baldwin person, so that's kind of by design. So yeah, we can continue the game show discussion, or we can get a wheel spin. Either way, I'm good. And actually, funny enough, since we're talking about game shows, um, where do you think the wheel was designed from? Wheel of Fortune. 24 spaces on the wheel. Wheel of Fortune is my favorite show of all time. Game show, at least. Um, is Alex Trebek retiring? I think he's trying to work out his, finish his contract. So I think he wants to stay till the end of that. Price is Right Big Wheel. I mean, technically you could see it as the Price is Right Big Wheel also. Um, and I give away prizes on it too. So there's that. So, I mean, I tried to do the whole game show vibe with the wheel too. Didn't work as well as I'd hoped, but yeah, it's going. I'm sure there's going to be people who try to replace Alex Trebek, um, but it is going to be incredibly difficult to pull off because I mean, you figure Alex Trebek is most closely associated with Jeopardy. Same with Pat Sajak and Vanna White for Wheel of Fortune. Granted, there were hosts before that. There was also hosts before Alex Trebek, but I mean, this generation only knows Alex Trebek as host of Jeopardy and Pat Sajak and Vanna White as host and hostess of Wheel of Fortune. So, I mean, it would be a lot to take in if and when that day actually comes. I mean, it's a day we'll all have to prepare for because, I mean, everybody passes at some point, and everybody can't go forever. As much as we would like them to. You know what? Speaking of Mr. Anderson, you said TNA stars would appear on Family Feud. Mr. Anderson was actually on both the WWE and TNA Family Feud games. Fun fact. Um, yes, Alex Trebek is Canadian. That's correct. Um, would love to see Alex Trebek on Raw. That would be interesting. I don't know what he would do, but that'd be interesting. So yeah, so I did base my wheel off of Wheel of Fortune. I mean, crying out loud, there's a bankrupt space. So my inspiration is quite obvious. So we only got about 20 minutes left. I still would like to get at least one wheel spin in today. It must just be because I did this on a different day. I have a feeling I'm going to hit the bankrupt. You haven't yet, Ken. You have not hit it yet. Only one person has hit the bankrupt in all the spins I've done. Greg, did you ever like Double Dare with Mark Summers? Absolutely. I mean, that was part of the inspiration of Luck of the Draw, honestly, was Double Dare. And if you guys want to check out my episodes of Luck of the Draw, um, go check them out on my YouTube channel. I mean, if you want to see my Luck of the Draw inspired show, which actually, I mentioned this earlier, but I'll mention it again. A couple of the no DQ people are going to play a game of Luck of the Draw here shortly. So that should be wildly entertaining. At least for, me. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super jack. Can you do the Norman Smiley wiggle? I've tried. Whether or not I can actually do it's another question. I can only submit like half the money for a spin, so I like Summer Sanders on Figure It Out. So did I. I loved Figure It Out. Um, very entertaining show. You did win a shirt off a spin, Ken. You did. Actually, you were the first of two that day. But it is definitely possible. I mean, anybody who's watched the stream long enough, you know you can. Yeah, Figure It Out was a fantastic show. One of my favorites growing up. Um, so good. Also, partly inspiration for Luck of the Draw. I mean, all the classic Nickelodeon game shows had some form of inspiration. Not necessarily Legends of the Hidden Temple, because I really couldn't work that in. But yeah, I'm telling you, you get something different every time you spin. Worry about Denberg was funny. I heard I she's supposed to be like make a guest appearance on the new All That, which I think is returning tonight, by the way. Um, so that should be entertaining. Yeah, I'm telling you, the wheel spins you get different stuff every week. They're definitely worth the money. I like Wayne Brady on Let's Make a Deal. Yes, good old Wayne Brady, who took an RKO from Randy Orton on an episode of Raw not too long ago. Um, I don't even did. That's fine. Um, yeah, Wayne Brady's entertaining. He's always been entertaining. Why is TJ as an EC3 fanboy? Is it a gimmick or is it real? I think that's just something we make fun of him about. Um, I don't know if it's real. It's gone on too long that I don't know if it's working anymore. Um, but it's funny regardless. Um, is it real? Okay, I haven't. I must not pay attention in the chat enough. EC3 was better off in TNA. Absolutely, he was. Um, well, he was actually used, so clearly he was better off in TNA. All right, let's get one spin. Just one spin before the end of this. We got to get one, right? And it's still buy one, get one, and nobody's taking advantage of it. I tell you what, since somebody asked about, Psycho Jet Black asked about earlier, if somebody gets a spin, even if it doesn't land on dance, I'll try and bust out the Norman Smiley dance. So that's some incentive for you guys. If EC3 never wins the 24/7 title, then his career is doomed. You know, there haven't been a lot of people to win the 24/7 title. It's only been like 5 people. Yeah, he'll have to win the. Vince has sucked the life out of EC3. Yeah, just based on his entrances alone, which I'm sure you guys have seen the videos of the difference in his entrance from when he first showed up to now. For 1 to 4 rank, Aaron, Virtue, TJS, and Big G. It's hard to do. Yeah. Greg, did you hear the 5-way match for Raw? I did. I did see that. Um, should be a good one. Simple Man's probably my number 2. Guess who's number 1? Caitlyn. No. Well, maybe. I don't know. There's a 5-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the U.S. title. It's Strowman, Cesaro, Ricochet. I forget who the other 2 are. Lashley and The Miz. Okay. So it'll probably be Strowman winning that because they were supposed to do a feud shortly after WrestleMania, and it never came to anything, which was weird. I don't know why, but hey, it is what it is. Yeah, winner faces Joe for the U.S. title. Yeah, I mean, all the girls are good. Damn it. There's also a handicap match on Raw. Reigns versus Shane and McIntyre. Maybe another chance for Shane to go over, I guess. Before they do Reigns versus McIntyre. This will probably be like Reigns loses the handicap match and then beats McIntyre at Stomping Grounds. I don't see him going on a losing streak. Which is not really doing Drew any favors. Of course, they could always have Reigns pin Shane, and then I don't know how they're going to go about that, but no idea. Just spitballing. All right, we only got about 10 minutes left in the stream. I don't think I'm getting a spin in today unless somebody saves me. Name your favorite Bobby Lashley promo. Does one exist? That's the question. His promo that he did when he was doing the feud with Sami Zayn. Stomping Grounds poster is boring. Yeah, the Stomping Grounds pay-per-view might be boring too. We'll see. The promo versus Umaga. Which one? Because I know that was a lengthy feud. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because he's kind of got a lisp. Do you do a promo that represent Trumpet Mania? I don't know. I'd have to look back through. I'd have to look back through the Raws before Mania and the ECWs, I guess. Tom Huxley, Shane better not win the WWE title. He might. I'd like it, but that's just me. It might put over somebody huge for winning the title from him. Which, if it just leads to Reigns winning the title, it might not be that important, but I'd actually be okay if Shane O'Mac became champ. He is the best in the world, Ken. Appreciate that. So I'll tell you what. I will I do want to give away a spin. As much as I wasn't sure about it, I do kind of want to give one away. So I'll tell you what. For those paying attention, I want to see how well you are paying attention. So here's a trivia question about yours truly. Winner gets a spin. Within 3 days, how long have I been wrestling trivia champion? If you answer correctly, you get a spin. $1,000. People's WWE channel was paying attention. Nicely done. 462 is the correct answer. So, People's WWE channel, you get the spin. So here we go. Let's see what we were able to do here. Truth time. So you get to answer any personal question that you want to me, and I'll answer it. So, Mr. Anderson, 2 days. Maybe my first reign. But People's WWE channel. You get to ask me a personal question, and I'll answer it. To conclude the stream, if I don't get another spin otherwise. What's your job? I actually work as a contractor for the federal government doing background investigations. A little fun fact. I don't know how much more I can say than that because a lot of the stuff I'm working with is confidential. It is. It's a good job. Definitely good work. Being a trivia challenge champion is my job. I could call it a part-time job because I have made money off of it. Just people betting against me, really. Which you'd think they'd know better. There you go. I thought Greg was the next new GM of Raw. I could only hope, as long as I got to cut my own promos. So, are you part of the FBI? No, I'm not. That would be interesting. Okay. So, China and Johnny the Bull shoes. Wrong FBI. Tell you what, though. I'm in a giving mood as long as the next one isn't a shirt. I want to do. Tell you what, I won't even spin. Name an entrance, and I'll do it. We're at the end of the show. I want to give you something to remember me by. Name an entrance, any of you. I'll do the first one you say. Just to conclude the show. I don't like giving away for free, but I want to give you something. Jet Set Forms, Val Venus. All right, I'm not going to get the towel, but Val Venus was requested, so. Let me see. People's WWE channel. Do the Rock's entrance. You know what? I don't think I have done the Rock's entrance yet, so let me do that one. Let me move this, and this will give you something to learn for next time. Let's see. make sure it's lined up good enough. And we can do the people's entrance. So this is what you get if you normally normally this is paid for. I'm not going to give away too many of these for free because I'll deter people from spinning the wheel. But just for the purposes of this, because it's on an odd day, I'm going to give you guys the people's entrance. So here we go.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
So there you go. That's what you can get if you do the put this down. That's what you can get normally with tell you what, chat side forums, if you donate the super chat real quick, I'll do that one for you. But that's what you can get if you do the super chats for the wheel. But next week, I will be back at my regular time, Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on the channel. You can follow me on Twitter at PA Sensation. You can go to my Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/PA Sensation. You can go to youtube.com/Luck of the Draw. Go subscribe over there, see a whole bunch of my content. And Gary, I'm just leaving right now, man. I was hoping to get a couple more spins, but I was hoping more people were coming. I actually have to head to a Father's Day thing for my father-in-law, and I can't be here tomorrow because I'm going to a Father's-in-law or a Father's Day thing for my dad. So that's why I did the spins the way I did them. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Yes, absolutely, Mr. Anderson. And I will see you guys next week, which will be right before Stomping Grounds. So I hope you guys can join me there. Again, follow me on Twitter at PA Sensation for all the news on my streams and whatnot, and for random entertainment. And I'll see you guys next week.